Hello, my name is Nick Saberla from Whitesburg, Kentucky. Thank you. Yeah, all right. A little banjo, Eastern Kentucky mountain music for you. We call it hill hop. If you want to know where I'm from, think about where Kentucky, West Virginia, Virginia, Tennessee come together, right there in the Appalachian coal fields. If you're ever in that area, stop by Appalshop. We're there all the time. All right. So I was working at a community radio station in Central Appalachia, WMMT, Possum Radio, to our friends, when I started getting letters from prisoners describing human rights abuses, electronic tasering, being strapped to a table, and even deaths. Typically with Appalshop, folks come in the door, they might bring some dirty water, or they might tell us about an issue, but they walk in the building. And in this case, it came in the form of letters. So the letters came into our organization. And they were writing us not because they thought we were artists or knew we were artists, and actually not because they thought we could do anything about what was happening to them, but because we were playing the one hip-hop show in a sea of bluegrass and country music, and I happened to be the DJ of that show with a couple other volunteers. And the prisons had been built as a form of economic development. Coal mining has mechanized, so it doesn't take as many people to work those jobs. And so the idea is, let's build prisons as a way of shoring up our economy in our region. And this is a trend throughout rural America. Now, our criminal justice system is sprawling. I have 11 prisons, just a short drive from where I live. Think about a nation inside a nation, 2.5 million people. A population equivalent to the country of Jamaica is behind bars. So we started a project called 1,000 Kites. Kite is prison slang for sending a message, and that's what we got. We got a lot of kites, people just sending us these letters, really reaching out, trying to figure out where they were culturally, trying to figure out where they were in relation to their family, and they had been shipped, many from very far away places, New Mexico, women from Hawaii, young men from Connecticut. And so to break the ice, I put a challenge out. I said, put forward, this to a couple thousand people incarcerated, put forward the best chess player. Just bring him forward, and I'll play a game of chess with this person. And so they put Big Daddy Duke emerged, and he would mail me the move, and I would make my move back over the radio. If you are going to do this, it takes about 5 months to play a game, and you kind of realize maybe a couple weeks into it that you're going to lose, and you have to, go through the whole thing. But it became a happening. It became an event, and the Virginia Department of Corrections called me up and said, "Who gave you permission to play this game of chess?" And Big Daddy Duke's radio disappeared, so the prisoners just yelled the moves through the air ducts. So they couldn't stop our game. We started hearing reports of deaths inside the prison, and we decided to use documentary film as an investigative tool to unearth what was happening. So this is David Tracy. He was 19 years old, serving a 1-year sentence, shipped from Connecticut, never had done time before. He was in solitary 23 hours a day. He committed suicide.
There were 9 of them. 9 where they hit him with a stunt gun. And you can see they burnt right into his skin and everything. Now, you think that should be with a stun gun? Is he his wrist? This is how they sent him back, wrapped up in sheets. It burned through his flesh. I got the pictures. I can show you. Then I started getting phone calls from prisoners down there, letters and everything, the people calling me, telling me how they did him. And I care for him, but I love my brother. This is how the sheets came. And they sent his body back. It wasn't no body bag or nothing, just one sheet in the cart. No, that's Larry. That's him. That's how you should have looked.
That was Joseph Frazier talking about his brother Larry. The way we found Joseph was we called every Frazier in the Connecticut phone book until we hit a family member, because the official line was that Frazier had actually died of a heart attack. So the arts needs to unearth suppressed stories and bring forward for public debate what is happening in our communities. And we responded to this and the abuses by organizing a one day that folks would call in to the radio show. And we worked with the prisoners. They wrote press releases for us. They designed the graphic. And we sent 2,000 or 3,000 postcards out. And what we found out was that people did not know where their loved ones were incarcerated. They hadn't heard from them from years. And we got quite a few people in our community were upset that we were doing this show. But we'll just take a little listen to it.
Hi, I'm calling because the love of my life is behind bars, and I just want all of you to know that you are not forgotten during this holiday season.
So I would like to give my daddy
Natasha,
shout that I love him
I love you
so much.
how much.
Please, I don't know how to sing, but let me sing this little song. Please come home for Christmas. You miss you, Timmy. We lonely without you. What do the lonely do at Christmas? We love you, Timmy.
This is my Christmas.
So we did these kind of cultural events, the Hill Hop, the radio, the documentary film, and we were looking at the database, and we realized that we had 20,000 prisoner families in the database. And so we began to figure out how can you link art, policy change, and technology. And we developed what we consider as a narrative campaign model of how do you use low-cost tools, the power of story, a little story banking, the little piggy bank there, think about that online, of adding stories, to actually push for legislative change. And so think about like a letter from a prisoner, plus a reader, plus some cheap technology equals getting stories out into the community. And so we've been doing this, and we've actually been having very success in moving legislative acts forward using stories. So my final ask to you is I'm going to invite you to, if you would like to submit content and help us build a radio show about your experience with the criminal justice system, I invite you to put down this number. It goes to the hardest worker on the team. It's a toll-free line answering machine, 24/7, just like an American worker, never takes a day off, always there. But you can call in and we'll build a radio show out of your content. If you want to interview someone onto the phone, you can just put in there. So that's 877-518-0606, and we can build, just like we do every week with the prisoner families, we can build a radio show together. Thank you.